$900 a month. That's what some people pay for a parking spot in Manhattan. That's 2 fancy dinners in San Francisco. That's literally just existing in Austin for about 12 days. But what if I told you that same $900 could get you an actual house? With rooms, multiple rooms. A yard where you could theoretically raise chickens if that's your vibe. A garage where you could start that woodworking hobby you've been lying to yourself about. I'm about to show you 11 US towns where affordable rent isn't a myth whispered by boomers who bought their homes for the price of a used Honda Civic. These are real places, real prices, and yes, real trade-offs, because cheap housing always comes with fine print. Always. If someone tells you there's no catch, they're either lying or they own property there and desperately need neighbors. This is the 2026 edition, freshly researched, and some of these hidden gems are so under the radar that real estate investors are going to be very annoyed I'm telling you about them. You're welcome. Now, before we dive in, do me a favor. If you're tired of watching apartment tours in cities where cozy means you can touch all 4 walls simultaneously, hit that subscribe button. We're building an escape plan here, and I need you on the team. Also like the video because the algorithm is a hungry beast and I must feed it. All right, 11 towns, 11 twists. Let's count down. Number 11, Johnstown, Pennsylvania. Population roughly 20,000. Nestled in the Allegheny Mountains with more history than most cities twice its size. This was steel country, baby. The mills are mostly ghosts now, but the architecture, stunning. We're talking brick row houses, Victorian gems with wraparound porches, and yes, for around $900 a month, you can rent a 3-bedroom house with a basement, a detached garage, and enough yard space to question your life choices while staring at the mountains. Cost of living here is aggressively reasonable. Groceries run about 15% below national average. Utilities are manageable unless you crank the heat in January, which you will, because this is the snow belt. We're talking lake effect adjacent conditions. The kind of winter where you develop a personal relationship with your snow shovel. You name it. You talk to it. You apologize when you accidentally leave it outside. The twist? Jobs are limited. Most people commute to Pittsburgh, which is about 70 miles away. Remote workers and retirees thrive here. But if you need a local gig, options are thin. Also, the town flooded catastrophically in 1889 and again in 1977, so maybe check which neighborhoods are on high ground. Just saying. The local Dollar General is basically a community center. I'm convinced people go there just to see who else is buying discount cheese. And the potholes on certain roads aren't potholes. They're geological events. You don't drive over them. You experience them. Emotional trade-off? You gain mountain views, genuine community, and housing that doesn't require a kidney donation. You sacrifice easy job access and your ability to complain about weather to anyone from literally anywhere else. Would you survive Johnstown winters for a 3-bedroom house under $900? Comment below. Number 10, Alamogordo, New Mexico. Population around 32,000. Sitting at the base of the Sacramento Mountains, gateway to White Sands National Park. Home to sunsets so aggressive they look AI generated. For $900 a month, you're looking at a 2-bedroom apartment with mountain views, or, if you hunt a little, a small casita with a courtyard where you can pretend you're in a telenovela. The desert life is cheap. Air conditioning will spike your electric bill in summer, but heating costs are minimal because winter here is basically jacket weather. Groceries are standard. Property taxes are laughably low by coastal standards. And the lack of humidity means your hair will actually cooperate for once in your life. But then you realize, the nearest major city is El Paso, about 90 minutes south. The economy leans heavily on Holloman Air Force Base and a few government contractors. If you're not military, retired, or remote working, the job market is a ghost town with tumbleweeds. Also, the wind. Nobody warns you about the wind. Spring arrives with dust storms that make you question if you've accidentally moved to Mars. There's this one gas station on White Sands Boulevard that serves cappuccino from a machine, and I swear half the town's social dynamics happen there before 8 a.m. It's not good cappuccino. It's important cappuccino. Emotional trade-off? You gain otherworldly landscapes, low cost of living, and the cleanest air you've ever breathed. You sacrifice nightlife, variety, and any hope of avoiding small-town gossip. Could you handle the desert isolation for those sunset views? Let me know. Number 9. Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Population hovering around 40,000. Sitting pretty on the Arkansas River, this town has a complicated reputation, but genuinely affordable housing that makes people do double takes. $900 a month here gets you a full house. 4 bedrooms sometimes, a big porch, a yard with actual trees. Maybe a fishing dock if you find the right rental near the water. Cost of living is rock bottom. We're talking groceries, utilities, and gas prices that feel like a time warp to 2015. Property taxes are gentle, and the river access means free entertainment if you're into kayaking, fishing, or just staring at water contemplatively like a budget philosopher. The twist is real though. Pine Bluff has struggled economically for decades. Certain neighborhoods have higher crime rates, so research matters. Infrastructure in some areas needs love. The downtown is revitalizing slowly, but slowly is the key word. You need to know where to live and what to avoid. Here's the thing nobody tells you. The people who stay here genuinely love it. There's a catfish restaurant that's been open since the 70s, where the waitress calls everyone honey and means it. Community events happen constantly. The Dollar General count is impressive, almost 1 per major intersection, which either comforts you or concerns you depending on your perspective. Emotional trade-off? You gain space, affordability, river vibes, and a tight-knit community that remembers your name. You sacrifice perceived safety in certain zones and access to big city amenities. Would you trade location reputation for an actual house on a river? Hit that comment section. Number 8. Ponca City, Oklahoma. Population around 23,000. Built on oil money back when oil money was everywhere, this town has grand old buildings, a massive lake nearby, and housing prices that genuinely confuse coastal transplants. $900 monthly gets you a 3-bedroom brick home with mature trees, a 2-car garage, and the kind of kitchen that actually fits a table. Revolutionary concept. Living costs are low across the board. Groceries are cheap. Gas is cheap. Even eating out is surprisingly affordable because competition is fierce among the 12 restaurants everyone rotates between. Utilities can spike in summer because Oklahoma heat is not a joke, but overall, your money stretches here. The twist? This is Tornado Alley, not metaphorically, literally. Spring means weather apps become your new religion. Basements and storm shelters aren't luxuries, they're requirements. Also, the nearest big city is Wichita or Oklahoma City, both over an hour away. Entertainment options locally include the lake, a surprisingly good museum, and creative interpretations of Friday night. There's a legendary pothole on Grand Avenue that's been there so long locals give directions using it. Turn left after the pothole dimension. You can't miss it. Allegedly, the city filled it twice. The pothole rejected the asphalt. Emotional trade-off? You gain genuine affordability, lake access, and Midwestern friendliness that's almost aggressive. You sacrifice tornado anxiety relief and diverse dining options. Could you handle storm season for a brick house with a garage? Comment your tornado survival strategy. Number 7. Liberal, Kansas. Population around 19,000. Yes, it's really called liberal. No, it's not a political thing. This pancake flat town near the Oklahoma and Colorado borders has one wildly unexpected feature: fiber internet. Actual high-speed fiber optic internet in a town where the primary view is sky and wheat. Remote workers, this is your promised land. $900 a month gets you a 3-bedroom house with a backyard, possibly even a shop building for your hobbies. Some rentals include updated interiors, because a surprising number of young professionals have discovered the internet situation and migrated here. Cost of living is genuinely low. Groceries arrive via the same supply chains as everywhere else, so prices are normal. Utilities are reasonable. Taxes are low. And because it's a border-adjacent town, you get interesting cultural blend influences in food and community events that bigger Kansas cities lack. The twist is obvious. There's not much to do. The surrounding area is flat, magnificently, existentially flat. The nearest significant city is Amarillo, Texas, about 2 hours away. If you need mountains, oceans, or forests, you'll need to drive for days. Also, the wind is relentless. It's not seasonal, it's permanent. The Dollar General here doubles as the spot where you accidentally learn everyone's business. Someone's cousin is always working the register and they remember what you bought last Tuesday. Emotional trade-off? You gain fast internet, genuine affordability, and the ability to work remotely from an actual house with space. You sacrifice visual variety and any pretense of nightlife. Would you move to the flattest town in America for fiber internet? Be honest. Number 6. Lewiston, Idaho. Population around 34,000. Tucked at the confluence of the Snake and Clearwater rivers, this is Pacific Northwest vibes without Pacific Northwest prices. $900 a month gets you a 2-bedroom apartment with river views, or a small house if you're flexible on neighborhoods. Some rentals even come with access to boat launches. Cost of living sits below national average. Groceries are standard Pacific Northwest pricing. Utilities are reasonable thanks to hydroelectric power keeping electricity costs low, and the outdoor recreation access is genuinely unreal. Jet boating, fishing, hiking, all within minutes. The twist? The town sits in a canyon, which means summer temperatures can hit triple digits while the surrounding plateau stays cooler. It's called the banana belt phenomenon, and it's disorienting. You can literally drive 20 minutes uphill and lose 15 degrees. Also, the nearest major airport is in Spokane or Boise, both over 2 hours away. Getting anywhere requires commitment. Local drivers have a fascinating relationship with four-way stops. It's not aggressive. It's more like everyone simultaneously decides to be too polite, and traffic becomes a philosophy seminar on who should go first. There's a gas station near the bridge that serves that same suspicious cappuccino you find everywhere. At this point, I'm convinced it's a franchise requirement for small towns. Emotional trade-off? You gain river access, outdoor adventure, and genuine Pacific Northwest beauty without the price tag. You sacrifice airport convenience and temperature consistency. Could you handle the canyon heat for riverside living? Drop your thoughts. Number 5, Roseburg, Oregon. Population around 24,000. Timber country vibes with mountains, rivers, and the kind of green that makes your eyes recalibrate after living somewhere brown. $900 monthly gets you a 2-bedroom apartment or a small cottage, and some listings include actual views of forested hills. This is the Oregon dream for people who got priced out of Portland and Bend. Cost of living is moderate for Oregon. No sales tax means your purchases feel weirdly cheaper. Groceries are Pacific Northwest standard. Utilities depend on heating choices because winters are wet and chilly. The town has surprising amenities for its size, including decent healthcare facilities. The twist? The economy depends heavily on timber and hospitality. Jobs outside those industries require remote work arrangements or significant commutes. Summers bring wildfire smoke that can make outdoor time complicated for weeks. And the rain. From October through May, you will become intimately acquainted with the concept of moisture, not storms, just persistent dampness. The local culture involves very strong opinions about coffee that everyone shares whether you asked or not. Also, there's an understanding that you wave at other drivers on rural roads. Not waving is considered hostile. Emotional trade-off? You gain Oregon nature, no sales tax, and escape from urban chaos. You sacrifice clear summer skies and diverse employment options. Would you trade smoke season for year-round green? Comment your lung capacity status. Number 4. Marion, Indiana. Population around 28,000. This is Heartland America with a twist. The town has a major medical center that employs thousands, creating a mini economy that keeps things more stable than typical small Midwest towns. $900 gets you a 3-bedroom house with a yard, a garage, and probably a basement where you'll store holiday decorations you'll forget about. Cost of living is low, like really low. Groceries are affordable, utilities are manageable, property taxes are reasonable. The medical center means there's actual infrastructure, decent restaurants, and services you'd normally need to drive an hour to find. But then you realize, outside the medical economy bubble, the surrounding area has struggled. Manufacturing left decades ago. The town has revitalized in pockets, but other sections still show economic scars. Winter is Indiana winter, which means gray skies for approximately 7,000 consecutive days between November and April. Here's the local secret. There's a farmer's market that runs from spring to fall with vendors who genuinely want to talk to you about their tomatoes for 45 minutes. It's either charming or exhausting depending on your schedule. The Dollar General to population ratio here is scientifically precise. Every neighborhood seems calculated to have one within a 5-minute drive. It's almost comforting in its consistency. Emotional trade-off? You gain stability from the medical economy, affordable housing, and Midwestern genuineness. You sacrifice winter sunlight and the thrill of economic diversity. Could you handle gray winters for a full house under 900? Share your seasonal depression strategies. Number 3. Douglas, Arizona. Population around 16,000. Sitting directly on the Mexican border, this is a town where you can walk to another country for lunch. Seriously. The port of entry is downtown. $900 monthly gets you a 3-bedroom house with a yard, desert landscaping, and often a covered carport because shade is currency here. Cost of living is extremely low. Groceries benefit from border proximity. Utilities spike in summer for AC, but balance out with minimal heating costs. Property taxes are gentle. And the cross-cultural atmosphere means food options punch way above the town's weight class. The twist? The border location creates unique dynamics. Federal presence is visible. Economic fluctuations follow trade policy changes. The nearest major American city is Tucson, about 2 hours north. Remote work is possible, but internet infrastructure varies by neighborhood, so verify before signing anything. Summer heat is not metaphorical. We're talking 105 degrees regularly. The kind of heat where you plan your entire day around not being outside between noon and 6 p.m. Locals have developed an indoor civilization that emerges at sunset like beautiful heat-averse vampires. There's a pothole situation on certain residential streets that locals navigate with the precision of obstacle course veterans. New residents learn quickly. Very quickly. Emotional trade-off? You gain cross-border culture, extreme affordability, and a genuine small-town vibe with international flavor. You sacrifice cool weather and proximity to American metro areas. Would you live on the border for a 3-bedroom house at this price? I want to hear it. Number 2. Bemidji, Minnesota. Population around 16,000. This is lake country. Real lake country. The town sits on the shores of Lake Bemidji and near Lake Irving, with Boundary Waters Wilderness within reasonable driving distance. For $900 monthly, you can find a 2-bedroom apartment with lake proximity, or, if you search persistently, a small cabin rental that makes your Instagram followers hate you. Cost of living is reasonable for Minnesota. Groceries are standard. Utilities are the catch. Winter heating costs will hurt, but proper insulation and smart thermostat usage help. The town has a state university, which means coffee shops, bookstores, and actual culture beyond the expected. But then you realize, winter here is not winter, it's winter. The kind where -30 happens and people just shrug. The kind where your car battery might decide to quit. The kind where you learn what a block heater is and why it's essential. Snow starts in October, sometimes September. It ends in May, sometimes June. The twist beyond weather? Summer brings tourists and mosquitoes in equal abundance. The mosquitoes are large enough to qualify for zip codes. Bug spray becomes a personality trait. That gas station cappuccino culture reaches its final form here. People drink it while ice fishing, in a shack on a frozen lake, staring at a hole in the ice, and somehow it's peaceful. Emotional trade-off? You gain lake life, wilderness access, college town culture, and beauty that makes your soul quiet. You sacrifice warmth, mosquito-free summers, and the ability to complain about weather anywhere else, ever. Could you survive Minnesota winters for lake cabin vibes? Be very honest with yourself. Number 1, Beckley, West Virginia. Population around 18,000. This is it. The best value on the list, hidden in Appalachian hills with mountain scenery, 4 distinct seasons, and housing prices that genuinely shock people from anywhere else. $900 monthly gets you a 3-bedroom house with a porch, a yard with mature trees, possibly a view of forested ridges, and often a basement or garage included. Cost of living is among the lowest in the entire country. Groceries are cheap, utilities are manageable, property taxes are low. Gas prices historically run below national average. The town has a regional hospital, a community college, and proximity to outdoor recreation that rivals places charging triple the rent. The twist? Appalachian economy has struggled for decades. Jobs outside healthcare and education require remote work or significant creativity. The nearest major city is Charleston, about an hour away. Internet infrastructure is improving but inconsistent, so verify fiber availability before committing. Here's what nobody tells you. The natural beauty is genuinely stunning. New River Gorge. National Park is nearby. Fall foliage makes the whole region look like an oil painting, and the community has a warmth that's hard to quantify but immediately noticeable. Local driving involves memorizing which curves are steeper than they look. There's always one road that's technically paved but emotionally a suggestion. And yes, the Dollar General presence is strong, but honestly, after everything I've researched, it's become a comfort. If there's a Dollar General, there's a community. Emotional trade-off? You gain mountain beauty, extreme affordability, genuine community, and space to breathe. You sacrifice economic opportunity density and urban convenience. Would you move to Appalachia for the best rental value in America? This is the big question. All right, we made it. 11 towns, 11 different versions of the same truth. Cheap housing in the US exists in 2026, but it always comes with trade-offs. Weather, jobs, isolation, potholes that challenge your suspension and your sanity. Dollar Generals that somehow know your schedule. But here's the thing. These places aren't bad. They're just different. They require adjustments that coastal living doesn't. They reward people who want space, quiet, and the chance to actually save money. Remote work changed everything. Retirees already knew the secrets. Now you know them too. So here's my final question, and I'm pinning this one. If you had to pick one town from this list and move there tomorrow, which would it be and why? I genuinely want to know. Drop your answer in the comments, argue with strangers, make friends. Form a relocation pact. I don't care. Just engage because this community is building something. If you made it this far, you're serious about finding affordable rent and low cost of living options that don't require selling your soul. Subscribe for more escape plans. We've got lists of small towns, moving strategies, and ways to actually make this work. Hit the notification bell if you want to see the next video before the algorithm buries it. I'm already researching the 2027 edition. Some of these hidden gems won't stay hidden for long. See you in the next one.